right, everybody, welcome to another Lightning Strikes Twice, the super fast, hyper condensed version of our longer lightning rounds that we don't usually do that often, but we will, I promise. We have one topic apiece, the other doesn't know what the other's going to talk about, and we have 5 minutes to discuss. Casey, you are first, so go ahead.
Have we done a live lightning round apart from the one on stage?
No, I think that was it.
Yeah, that might be tricky. Huh.
Hmm.
Well, anyway, kind of a current events sort of thing, but
Mhm.
also kind of getting into the realm of education. What do you think about this kind of back and forth between the Trump administration and Harvard? Have you been following that?
I mean, a little bit. Um, I think it's petty.
Yeah.
Overall, the whole thing is just stupid. Like, whatever. I mean, I get both sides' kind of argument, I guess, but it's like, whatever, just let it go, man. It's not worth it. you know, not, I mean, the fact is, it's like, I think education in general in the US sucks ass anyway. So, like, whatever, it's like, I just was watching a news or like a clip from CNN. I think they interviewed a college student, 19. Um, she graduated high school and was admitted to a university, and she cannot read or write. Like, what's up with that? Like,
Wow.
how is that possible? That's the thing. It's like the education system in the US is totally failing students. Like, people come out not knowing anything. And I think that's almost criminal, honestly.
I'd say if you're going to pick one institution in the United States that might be exempt from that, would be Harvard,
I
right?
agree. I do agree. Like, maybe some of these really
They're kind
decent.
of consistently like number one, and
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, they probably, it's like, I would get for whatever petty disagreement there might be with the administration, like, I'd give them a pass, honestly. Like, as long as they're still performing well, whatever. Do you, basically, like, whatever.
I mean, the whole thing was about like, Harvard was just refusing to infringe upon First Amendment rights. So it's, you
Yeah.
know, and the baller move though was like today or yesterday, depending on what side of the world you're on.
Mm.
As of this recording, let's say, um, Harvard announced they're going to allow US citizens to enroll in a free online course learning about the US government and the Constitution and how to spot a dictatorship.
I mean, here's the thing, I will
That's
say.
that's a smart thing to offer people though. Like
Yeah,
people need to know that stuff. Like that's
yeah,
the shit that the regular schools are failing us in, you know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like, I guess, I don't know. I mean, it however you feel about any side, it's at the very least extremely entertaining. Like,
Yeah.
what all the things going on, it is not boring. For everybody, it is not boring, and that's the thing. It's like,
Right.
I'm like, you know basically, it's like, grab your bowl of popcorn and sit
Yeah.
back and enjoy the ride.
Well, yeah, I like for the silver lining, let's say, I do enjoy that now politics is becoming a little bit more realistic. Like people are cussing and stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, this shit's gone far enough, and like, fuck Donald Trump and blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
well,
Like,
I
like,
mean, yeah, and everybody, it is kind of opening the door to, like, a little more regularity as far as,
yeah,
like, I mean, I think it's good. I like that, honestly.
yeah. Drop all the pretenses, and
Mhm.
like, there's nothing unprofessional about getting frustrated.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
exactly.
perfectly normal. It's healthy to let that out rather than to, be kumbaya all the time.
Sure, as long as you can kind of rein it in and keep it from getting out of hand, that. Look
Hmm.
at what, like, Parliament in the UK. There, people, it's like a bar scene. People just yelling and going crazy and stuff. It's
Well,
like,
yeah, that's a mess because like all the Brexit folks are kind of like in this state of regret now, and
I don't think so. As far as I know from the few people in that regard, it's but I mean, it's always been a mess. It always will be, honestly. Like, and
Yeah.
that too is entertaining. There's a bunch of stuff going on there all over the place. It's like,
Yeah, there's a lot of parallels between the US and UK right now,
well, it makes sense.
politically.
We are born of the same, cloth, or cut from the same cloth, essentially.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
some extent, obviously, the U.S. has had a lot more influence from other places, but I mean, it was part of England at one point in time. you
Yeah.
know, yeah.
Huh.
It,
Which
but I
people
mean,
would learn in the Harvard class.
yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, people should honestly learn a lot more about the world around them, the things that influence their, like, how things are, and why, they need to learn why things work the way they do, and stuff like that. And they're not taught that in general. I mean, there's a lot of things like economics and stuff. You have people coming out of, they go through high school and college, and they don't know the first thing about economics to begin with, or even budgeting, like
Yeah.
basic stuff that you ought to know to live your life.
Well, I
uh,
had an idea just recently that could save the country, honestly. Um, like kind of a non-profit approach, like an NPO or something
mhm,
to all the stuff that's kind of being hacked away in the
mhm,
government, and there's kind of a brain drain with people just like voluntarily walking away from the government because it's getting so ridiculous.
mhm.
Just like onboard all these people into this nonprofit and like offer these things in a more, I don't know, socially conscientious and economically conscientious way.
Yeah. Well,
Just an idea.
I agree. There's a lot of things that could be basically privatized and run as a nonprofit,
In a
and
sense,
be
yeah.
way more efficient. That's the thing. Like, lean and mean, cut all the bureaucracy out of it, and then all that money goes, it it gets utilized more effectively, I think,
When
in
you
that
take the
case.
politics out of it, you take the lobbying out of it.
Yeah.
So, you
Yep.
can actually have real experts weighing in on the important things that should be part of education. You're gonna have,
Sure.
actual economists that aren't like worrying about what's going on with the stock market as much as what's going on with, the everyday person and their ability to like
The,
buy
the
food,
the task
like
at hand, whatever
the
you're
real
tasked with doing.
economy. Like the
Yeah.
economy
Yeah.
we always hear about is this glossy outer shell.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Oh
nothing
man.
about the
Oh,
gooey insides.
that's time. Actually, the timer was off a little bit, so I think we got a little extra time on yours.
All right.
But yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, shit, we covered a lot of different things in that short span of time, as
Yeah.
usual. um, so mine isn't really related. It's a more philosophical question, but I suppose it could be in a way.
We'll
Now that
find
I'm
a way to
thinking
tie
about
it
it,
together.
yeah, yeah. Um, so, uh, risky total freedom or safe and comfortable slavery, which would be your preference?
Risky and what?
Total freedom, like
Risky and
like
total freedom.
like total freedom that comes with risk, of course, or things being safe and comfortable, but it's essentially slavery. Like, you have no freedom whatsoever.
Oh boy. That's yeah. That's very difficult.
I,
Very difficult.
yeah.
I like in the sense that would it still be a fact that you always have freedom? It's just a question of is your freedom legal? Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
like
That.
you have all the freedom of choice. It's just like, are we talking about like, you have to absolutely do everything you're told, or is it more like try not to get caught?
Well, that would always be an option, of course. But in general, the idea is like a society which is totally locked down, totally controlled, but everything is, you're safe.
Hmm.
Essentially, you're safe as long as you follow the rules, and everything's provided for you. But you can't really get beyond that, um, and do what
Hmm.
you want to do necessarily.
I'd probably actually lean more toward the freedom, um, just because uh, I feel like the potential to create an environment where you can have safety and comfort and things like that would be more attainable in a free society
Yeah.
than to break away from because like East Germany was communist,
Hmm.
but like part of communism is nobody's going hungry, so it's like, you
Yeah.
have that comfort as long as you play by the rules.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Like North Korea, you have
yeah.
your
And all
uh
those things eventually topple, but
mhm.
it takes
Yeah.
a lot of work and usually blood. So
Well, exactly. And something that I've said probably in multiple occasions, it's like in an anarchist society, you could have a group of people could build a socialist environment within that. That would be totally acceptable. But
yeah,
within like a socialist society, or say like communist or whatever, a more controlled thing, you could not create a pocket of an anarchist society. That would not be
yeah.
allowed.
On a macro scale, if you look at countries as if they were like individuals,
Mm-hmm.
the globe is a place of anarchy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a wonder that there's any kind of trade going on at all and
Well,
peace
that
and
the thing is, you'll find it. What ends up happening is human beings tend to work together very well. That's a trait that's genetic, essentially, because that's part of
yeah,
survival. That's what makes cohesion within a society, which makes people survive. So, being friendly and being able to work together despite differences is a survival thing. So people generally just kind of figure out a way to get along. Obviously, there's always conflicts. That's just another human trait, that
yeah,
conflicts will happen, but conflicts get resolved. That's how it goes. And and yeah, trade is like a thing that just emerges. It's an like it just you get enough people together and they start trading and bartering with each other and figuring out ways to work together. And you have the same thing with different countries. Um,
yeah,
unless you bring religion or politics into it, then that usually
right.
tends to spice it up a bit.
Yeah. But all that is like religion and to some degree politics as well it's kind of just creating that comfort
Hmm.
for yourself, like in your mind, like
Yeah.
imagining that safety net is there,
Hmm.
even if it probably actually isn't.
Yeah,
um
exactly. Well, that is
so
kind of half the battle, honestly.
yeah.
As far as just feeling like everything's okay.
Hmm.
Like,
But it might be better if human society came to realize that no man's an island,
yeah.
unless you believe Paul Simon. Um, and instead of like this whole idea that like God wants things a certain way, so force other people to do it
Yeah.
on his behalf, and it's like, oh, that's fucked so much up, like
Yep. Exactly.
I kind of wonder if we would have evolved entirely without politics as we know it, at
Mhm.
least, if it
Oh,
weren't for
that's
religion.
time, but yeah, if it weren't for religion, yeah.
Hmm.
That's a good point, man. Oh, these are all pretty good.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Maybe we
Well,
should flip a coin and just keep going on one of those on the live stream.
I think so. Yeah. Well, they're both kind of, in a way, we've kind of intertwined the two, as
Actually, yeah,
always.
we did, huh?
Hmm. Yeah. It's yeah, we'll carry on, I think. But for now, this will conclude the lightning strikes twice. So we do this every week, with maybe a few exceptions. So stick around to next time, and yeah, hopefully everybody enjoyed.
Dun, 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 dun.